Here are the 9 contestants preparing for tonight's show. At stake is a prize fund of up to £50,000, but only one of them can take the money away. The rest will leave with nothing, as one by one they're voted off as the weakest link.
Welcome to the weakest link. Any of the 9 people in the studio here tonight could win up to £50,000. They don't know each other, however. If they want the prize money, they'll have to work as a team. But 8 of them will leave with nothing, as round by round we lose the player voted the weakest link. Let's meet the team.
I'm Graham, I'm 34, I live in Leicester and I'm a prison officer.
I'm Carol, I'm 19, I'm from Barrow-in-Furness and I'm a drama student.
I'm Mike, I'm 51, from Southwood and Ferrers in Essex, and I'm a key account manager.
I'm Gemma, I'm 25, I'm from Teesside and I'm a pharmaceutical sales rep.
I'm Maggie, I'm 44, I'm from Cardiff in South Wales and I'm a housewife and mother.
I'm Stephen, I'm 34, from Clydebank in Scotland and I'm a nurseryman.
I'm Lindsay, I'm 34, I live in Stourbridge in the West Midlands and I run a bookstore.
I'm James, I'm 24, I live in Bedford and I'm a paralegal.
I'm Simon, I'm 46, I live in Fordham in Cambridgeshire and I own an internet business.
Now the rules. In each round, the aim is to answer enough questions correctly to reach your £5,000 target within the time limit. The fastest way is to create a chain of 9 correct answers. Get your question wrong and you break the chain and lose all the money in that chain. But if you say bank before the question is asked, the money is safe. However, you start a new chain from scratch. Remember, team, at the end of the round, only money that has been banked can be carried forward. The first round lasts for 3 minutes. We'll start with the person whose name is first alphabetically. That's you, Carol. Let's play the weakest link. The first question is for £100. Start the clock. Carol, which sport does Anna Kournikova play professionally?
Tennis.
Correct. Mike, what H is the name of the animal that wears a bridle and a saddle?
Horse.
Correct. Gemma, according to the nursery rhyme, who had a little lamb with fleece as white as snow?
Mary.
Correct. Maggie, Uncle Sam is a figure symbolic of which country?
America.
Correct.
Bang.
Stephen, which children's game is played using the fruit of the horse chestnut tree threaded on a string?
Chestnuts.
Conkers. Lindsay, what is the generic name for Italian foodstuffs that come in shapes including penne, ravioli and rigatoni?
Pasta.
Correct. James, in the animal kingdom, what D was the name of the extinct flightless bird that was related to the pigeon?
Dodo.
Correct. Simon, in the novel by Louise de Bernier, which musical instrument does Captain Corelli play?
Violin.
Mandolin. Graham, in
Bank.
cooking, what is a skillet, a pan or a knife?
Pan.
Correct. Carol, in rugby union, which country did the British Lions tour in 2001?
Australia.
Correct. Mike, Walt Disney received a standard-size Oscar and 7 small ones for which 1937 film?
Mickey Mouse.
Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. Gemma, in religion, what J is the name of the city where the holy site of the Temple Mount is situated?
Judea.
Jerusalem. Maggie, which lord and ex-politician wrote the book Cain and Abel?
Jeffrey Archer.
Correct. Stephen, in travel, what T is the name for a large chest or box in which luggage can be transported?
Tug.
Correct. Lindsay, Queen Victoria married which German-born prince in 1840?
Albert.
Correct. James, in 1841, in which role did David Livingstone first visit South Africa, missionary or merchant?
Missionary.
Correct. Simon,
Bang.
in politics, which Russian leader introduced the concepts of perestroika and glasnost?
Lenin.
Mikhail Gorbachev. Graham, in nature, what M is the term given to the seasonal mass movement of animals to avoid cold or drought?
Migration.
Correct. Carol, in 1992, which artist exhibited a tiger shark in a tank?
David. Oh, pass.
No, Damien Hirst. Mike, In cookery, the sweet made from gelatin, icing sugar, water, corn flour and flavoured with rose water is known as Turkish what?
Delight.
Correct. Gemma. In geography, in which continent is Iran?
Asia.
Correct. Maggie. In nature, what L follows wood and sky to make the names of British birds renowned for their song?
Lark.
Correct. Stephen. On which coast of England are the towns of Hartlepool and Whitby, east or west?
East.
Correct.
Back.
Lindsay. In the TV comedy series Absolutely Fabulous, June Whitfield plays the mother of which character?
Don't know.
Adina. James. In history, the Bastille was a fortress in which European capital city?
Paris.
Correct. Simon.
Bang.
In pop music, Melanie Blatt was a member of which all-girl group?
Spice Girls.
All Saints. Graham. In it. Time's up. Well, you got £3,100. If you'd all been alert, it would have been 5,000. Who'd be better off in the audience? Who's just earned a one-way ticket to Loserville? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
Simon is the weakest link because he didn't get a single answer right. According to the statistics, Maggie is the strongest link. But will the other players notice these facts so early in the game?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Stephen.
Simon.
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 Lindsay.
Stephen, what do you do?
I grow plants.
What did you do when you were a little boy, Stephen?
I'm still a little boy.
You never played conkers,
I did, yes.
so why didn't you answer the question correctly?
I'm just a wee bit of nerves, I think.
Why Simon?
Because he's nearest the door.
Carol, what you do?
I'm a drama student, and
What have they taught you so far?
there's so much, I can't put it into words. I can't put it
Isn't
in
that
one
what you're meant to do
sentence.
at drama school? Put it into words?
It's not drama school, it's a drama degree.
What have they taught you so far?
They taught me that drama is everywhere. Drama's right here in the studio, and we're
Not while you're
performing now.
talking, it isn't. Why Simon?
He didn't know his All Saints from his Spice Girls.
But you've never heard of Damien Hirst. So, Lindsay,
Yes.
what made you choose the shirt, dear?
I didn't think anyone else would be wearing this colour.
You're
Anne.
absolutely right. What do you do?
I sell books.
Do you watch any television?
Yes.
And you've never heard of Adina from Absolutely Fabulous?
I have. Yes, I have.
And why Simon?
Because he got more questions wrong than anyone else.
You did. Simon, who runs an internet company. With 7 votes, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
If I'd been any of the other voters, I would have to have voted for myself. I was the worst player. I got all 3 questions wrong. There's no excuse for it. I was just an Egypt. I think Mike might be the next person to be voted off. He's got a lot of confidence, but he could just collapse.
Round 2, team. You have in the bank £3,100. There are 8 of you left. We are now taking 10 seconds off your time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Maggie. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Maggie, in 1993, Rudolph Giuliani was first elected to which position in New York City?
Mayor.
Correct. Stephen, in nature, the young of which animal are known as joeys?
Calf.
Kangaroo. Lindsay, in football, the England versus Germany World Cup qualifier in September 2001 was held in which German city?
Berlin.
Munich. James, in human anatomy, what A is the tendon at the bottom of the leg, also known as the calcaneal tendon?
Achilles.
Correct. Graham, which type of building typically has a box office in areas known as the upper and dress circles?
Theatre.
Correct. Carol, in pop music, which male singer had a UK hit single with the ballad Eternity in 2001?
Robbie Williams.
Correct. Mike,
Bank.
in fashion, what style of garment is a tank top, long-sleeved or sleeveless?
Sleeveless.
Correct. Gemma, in which country did the practice of yoga originate?
India.
Correct. Maggie, in religion, what R is a member of the clergy of the Church of England who is in charge of a parish?
No, can't think, sorry.
Rector. Stephen, in which British city are Tower Bridge and Wandsworth Bridge?
London.
Correct. Lindsay, which ginger-haired showbiz personality was born in Warrington on the 1st of April 1966?
Was it you, Anne?
Chris Evans. James, in which branch of the British Armed Forces is Commodore a rank, Royal Navy or Army?
Royal Navy.
Correct. Graham, in the animal kingdom, the gorilla is indigenous to which continent?
Asia.
Africa. Carol, in science, what P is the word used to describe the simplest form of camera without a lens?
Photograph.
Pinhole. Mike, in children's literature, Captain Hook is a character in which story?
Peter Pan.
Correct. Gemma, in which game would you stand behind an oki?
Darts.
Correct. Maggie, in which mountain range is Nepal, the Andes or the Himalayas?
Andes.
Himalayas. Stephen, in biology, what name is given to the coloured part of the eye which lies behind the cornea?
Black.
Iris. Lindsay, in geography, what S is a town on the River Stour that shares its name with a light meal or snack?
I don't know.
Sandwich. James, which actress played Lucy in the American TV comedy series I Love Lucy?
Don't know.
Lucille Ball. Graham, in March each year, in which direction are the clocks changed by 1 hour, forwards or backwards?
Forwards.
Correct. Carol, in pop music, how many members are there in the group The Pet Shop Boys?
2.
Correct. Mike,
Bank.
in religion, what H is the name given to food that Muslims are permitted to eat?
Halal.
Correct. Gemma, in which popular pantomime is a pumpkin magically transformed into a beautiful carriage?
Cinderella.
Correct. Maggie, in American politics, during the term of office of which president was Madeleine Albright appointed Secretary of State? Time is up. The correct answer was Bill Clinton. And you did not do well at all. You managed to bank just £750. Whose ice cream has toppled off its cornet? Who's on the road to nowhere and moving fast? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
The statistics show that Lindsay is the weakest link in this round, as she failed to answer a single question correctly. Mike is the strongest link, but will the team realise that when casting their vote?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Maggie.
Maggie.
Stephen.
Stephen.
Gemma.
Lindsay.
Maggie.
Stephen.
Oh, we have a tie team. Maggie and Stephen, 3 votes each. Graham,
Yes, Mum.
what do you do?
I'm a prison officer.
Oh, that must be fun.
Oh, it is.
Why did you become a prison officer?
Chance to meet people. Not necessarily nice people.
Why Maggie?
She got a couple of questions wrong. She could have banked some money near the end and she didn't.
How's it going for you, James?
Yeah, you know, okay.
You went to a different university than Cal. She knows only how to say, you only know how to say, you know.
You know, well, it's one of the things I kind of teach at university.
Why Stephen?
I think it was a kangaroo question, actually, Anne. It was a pretty easy one. I think you should have got it, really.
Well, when the vote is tied, the strongest link has to cast the deciding vote. The strongest link in that last round was Mike. Why did you vote for Stephen?
On balance of the 2 rounds, I think he was the weaker of the 2 people that I thought were the weakest link in that last round. That was Lindsay and Stephen, but I thought Stephen just cracked it.
Having listened to all the evidence, would you like to get rid of Stephen, the nursery man, or Maggie, the mother?
No, I'll stick with my original decision.
Why?
Stephen. Because on balance of the 2 rounds, Maggie was much stronger.
OK. Well, interestingly, the weakest link in that round, statistically, was Lindsay. Stephen, it's been such a delight. We want you out. You are the weakest link. Bye.
I
think Lindsay should have been voted off because she got all 3 questions wrong. They had the chance to get her off and they didn't. So I hope it comes back to haunt them all and she goes on to win the money.
Round 3. You've got £3,850 in the bank. By now, you could have had 10,000. You're down to 7 players. We're taking another 10 seconds off your time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Mike. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Mike, what does the German word bitter mean? Please or thank you?
Please.
Correct. Gemma. At which famous cricketing venue in London are the Ashes kept?
Lords.
Correct. Maggie. In food, what P is the term for cooking an egg without its shell in or over boiling water?
Poaching.
Correct. Lindsay.
Bank.
Which forename is used by US General Schwarzkopf, who gave the nickname Stormen during the 1991 Gulf War?
Norman.
Correct. James. In food, which part of the horseradish plant is used to make the sauce? The root, the leaves or the stem?
The root.
Correct. Graham. In science, which metric distance is equal to 1,000 metres?
A kilometre.
Correct. Carol. In geography, what T is the longest river in Scotland?
Pass.
Tay. Mike. In World War I, how many countries were in the Allied coalition? 3 or 23?
3.
23. Gemma. According to the traditional rhyme, if Monday's child is fair of face, what is Tuesday's child?
Full of grace.
Correct. Maggie. In the Gregorian calendar, which month of the year is named after Janus, the Roman god of beginnings?
January.
Correct. Lindsay. Known for its casinos, in which US state is Atlantic City, New Jersey or Nevada?
Nevada.
No, New Jersey. James. In pop music, Rasputin and Rivers of Babylon were 1970s UK hit singles for which group?
Boney M.
Correct. Graham. In maths, which type of chart shows relative quantities by means of a circle divided into appropriately sized segments?
Pie chart.
Correct. Carol. Comédie Française is a theatre company in which country?
France.
Correct. Mike.
Bank.
In fashion, what is the name for dark spectacles worn on the eyes for protection against UV lights?
Sunglasses.
Correct. Gemma. In UK geography, which range of hills lies between Cirencester and Cheltenham?
Pennine.
Cotswolds. Maggie. In the animal kingdom, a yellowhammer is a variety of which type of creature?
Bird.
Correct. Lindsay. In music, the Orb and Sceptre March was written by Walton for the coronation of which monarch?
Victoria.
No, Queen Elizabeth II. James. In meteorology, what B is the scale used to measure wind strength?
Beaufort.
Correct. Graham. In travel, in which country is Knock International Airport?
Ireland.
Correct. Carol.
Bank.
A Siamese cat usually has eyes of which colour, blue or brown?
Blue.
Correct. Mike. In foreign currency, what Q is the denomination of American coin equivalent to 25 cents?
Quarter.
Correct. Gemma. In TV, the programme Juliet Bravo was about a woman in which public service?
The police.
Correct. Maggie. In UK geography, what is England's most easterly point, Land's End or Lowestoft Ness?
Land's End.
No, Lowestoft Ness.
Bank.
Time's up. You won a disappointing £1,250. Drastic measures are necessary. It's time to vote off the weakest link.
Statistically, Graham is the strongest link. Having escaped the previous vote, Lindsay remains the weakest link. But can she avoid the walk of shame this time?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Lindsay.
Maggie.
Lindsay.
Carol.
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 Maggie.
Maggie,
Here we go.
what do you do, dear?
I'm a housewife and mother, Anne.
Why Carol?
I felt she had the most questions wrong.
Now, bookworm Lindsay, how many books do you read a week?
About 3 or 4.
And you've been doing that for how long?
Years and years and years. Anne.
Years and years and years and years. And you think Atlantic City is in Nevada?
No. I don't know where it is, Anne.
Even worse. Why Carol?
Because I thought Carol got a few answers wrong.
Not as many as you, Lindsay. But she got the votes. Carol, despite the fact that astonishingly, without even an you answered a drama question correctly. You are the weakest link. Bye.
I think the team voted for me instead of Lindsay, not because I was the weakest link, but because I look different. I'm the youngest person there, so I guess I'm a bit of a target. I hope that Lindsay gets voted off next, not for any vindictive reasons, but I think she's escaped it for long enough, so she should get what's due to her.
Round 14. So far, you have banked £5,100 out of potential prize money of £15,000. There are 6 of you left. We are taking another 10 seconds off the time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Graham. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Graham, in film, whose portrayal of Wall Street dealer Gordon Gekko won him an Oscar for Best Actor in 1987?
Don't know.
Michael Douglas. Mike, which Midlands postcode area has the prefix MK?
East Midlands.
Milton Keynes. Gemma, in aromatherapy, which part of the eucalyptus plant is used in preparation of the essential oil, leaves or bark?
Leaves.
Correct. Maggie, which playwright did Anne Hathaway marry in 1582?
William Shakespeare.
Correct. Lindsay, in history, which civilization built the statue of Zeus, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world?
Roman.
Greek. James, in the animal kingdom, the black swan is native to which Commonwealth country?
Britain.
Australia. Graham, in maths, 39.37 inches is equivalent to how many metres?
1 metre.
Correct. Mike, in the poem by Longfellow, what was the name of the bride of Hiawatha?
Pocahontas.
Minnehaha.
Yeah.
Gemma,
Bank.
in music, what was the surname of Johann Sebastian, the German composer born in 1685?
Strauss.
Bach. Maggie,
Bank.
in the US TV comedy The Addams Family, which character was married to Gomez?
Morticia.
Correct. Lindsay, in literature, what was the name of the captain who was chasing Moby Dick?
Ahab.
Correct. James, in which sport did David Toms win the 2001 US PGA Championship with a score of 265?
Golf.
Correct. Graham, in the TV series Blackadder Goes Forth, which actor played General Sir Anthony Cecil Hogmanay Melchett?
Stephen Fry.
Correct.
Bank.
Mike, which London museum houses Lindo Man, a body preserved in peat since the 1st century AD?
National Museum.
British Museum. Gemma, in pop music, country singer Shania Twain had a UK hit single in 1999 with the song Man, I Feel Like a What?
Woman.
Correct. Maggie, the ballerina Margaret Hookham was better known as Margot who?
Fontaine.
Correct. Lindsay,
Bank.
which Greek shipping magnate married Jackie Kennedy in 1968?
Onassis.
Correct. James, in the animal kingdom, Simba is the Swahili name for which wild creature?
Lion.
Correct. Graham, in film, Bruce Wayne is the alter ego of which comic book superhero?
Batman.
Correct. Mike,
Bank.
in the military, the reveille and last post are traditionally played on which brass instrument?
Trumpet.
Bugle.
Oh.
Gemma, in which radio comedy series did the character Ford Prefect? Time is up. £1,250. You won. Whose podium would look better unoccupied? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
With no wrong answers, Maggie is the strongest link. According to the statistics, Mike is the weakest link as he failed to answer a single question correctly. But can he survive the vote?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Mike.
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 Gemma. Why Mike?
He seemed to be doing very well, but I thought he might be losing it in that round, and I was quite worried.
Why were you worried, Gemma?
He might be spoiling it for the rest of us.
Lindsay, why on earth are you still here?
I don't know, Anne, but I still am.
Why Mike?
He was the weakest link in that round.
He was. Astonishingly, Lindsay wasn't the weakest link last time. Mike, with 4 votes, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I think I expected to go perhaps certainly another couple of rounds. I might have even got into it, and my general knowledge is usually pretty good. When I'm sitting in front of the TV screen at home, I'm banging out the answers, but up there it just didn't work in that round.
Round 15. You have in the kitty £6,350. If you'd hit your targets, it would be £20,000. There are 5 of you left, another 10 seconds coming off the time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Maggie. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Maggie, in entertainment, which group for professional conjurers was formed in July 1905?
The Magic Circle.
Correct. Lindsay, in choral music, which composer wrote Messiah, first performed in 1742?
Handel.
Correct. James, going anti-clockwise on a compass, which point is 270 degrees from north?
West.
East. Graham, in TV, The Next Generation and Deep Space Nine were sequels to which science fiction series?
Star Trek.
Correct. Gemma, in the cabinet reshuffle of June 2001, Alan Milburn retained which ministerial position?
Health Minister.
Correct. Maggie,
Bank.
in snooker, which surname links Joe World Champion in the 1930s and Steve World Professional Champion in the 1980s?
Davis.
Correct. Lindsay, in which country were the famous terracotta army statues discovered in 1974?
Russia.
China. James, in TV, one of the founders of the National Viewers and Listeners Association is Mary who?
White House.
Correct. Graham, in the nursery rhyme, how many blackbirds were baked in a pie?
4 and 20.
Correct.
Bank.
Gemma, in geography, what's the name of the highest mountain in Africa?
Kilimanjaro.
Correct. Maggie, in pop music, Kylie Minogue had a year 2000 UK #1 single with Spinning What?
Spilling. Sorry.
Spinning what?
Or spinning around.
Correct. Lindsay, in Greek mythology, who opened the box releasing all human evil into the world?
Pandora.
Correct. James, in the animal kingdom, toy and hound are classifications of which domestic animal?
Dog.
Correct. Graham, in modern literature, which author created the characters Hannibal Lecter and Clarice Starling?
Pass.
Thomas Harris. Gemma, in the Lethal Weapon films, which US actor starred as veteran police officer Roger Murtaugh alongside Mel Gibson?
I don't know.
Danny Glover. Maggie, in the English alphabet, what are the letters A, E, I, O and U that the letters C, P, M and S are not?
They're vowels.
Correct. Lindsay,
Bank.
which 2 mollusks are mentioned in the traditional song Molly Malone?
Cockles and mussels.
Correct. James, in which US state is the American presidential retreat Camp David?
Montana.
Maryland. Graham, in human anatomy, what is the name of the joint situated at the lower end of the radius bone in the arm?
Elbow.
Wrist. Gemma, in film, the Time is up. You banked £1,100. Whose downfall should you be plotting? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
For the second round in a row, Maggie is the strongest link, as she answered all her questions correctly. The weakest link statistically is Graham. But what will the other players take into consideration as they cast their votes?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Lindsay.
James.
James.
Graham.
Lindsay.
We have a tie team. Lindsay and James, 2 votes each. Gemma. Why James?
He got the question wrong about East and West and just warmed the cockles of my heart to know that he was a bit more thick than me.
That's not necessarily true.
No, but in that round.
Graham, why do you want to free Lindsay?
Well, I don't think she had a particularly good round, and the last 2 rounds before that, she was the weakest link on both of those. So she's got to go.
When the vote is tied, the strongest link has to cast the deciding vote. The strongest link was Maggie. Tell us first why you voted for James.
Well, he did have the most questions wrong in that round, and he's been having a few questions wrong on previous rounds as well, and I felt that it was time for him to go.
OK, well, you now have a choice between James and Lindsay. Who do you want to get rid of?
It's James.
Statistically, it's old Clever Clogs from the jail who was actually the worst player. So that'll take the smug smile off his face. But it's votes that count. Maggie wants you out. James, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Well, I think I was a bit unlucky to be voted off then. I think Lindsay had a worse few rounds before me. I think when it came down to it, I think it was the women ganging up on me. I think Graham's days are numbered. He's a good player, but unfortunately the lack of men on the panel now means that he's in trouble.
Round 6. You have banked so far £7,450 out of a possible £25,000. There are 4 of you left. We are cutting another 10 seconds from your time. We start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Maggie. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Maggie, in the Secret Services, for what do the letters MI stand for in the abbreviations MI5 and MI6?
Military intelligence.
Correct. Lindsay, which feline TV cartoon character had gang members named Benny, Choo Choo and Brain?
I don't know.
Top Cat. Graham, in literature, the 1967 novel by Gabriel Garcia Marquez about 6 generations of one family is called 100 Years of what?
Pass.
Solitude. Gemma, in which modern-day European country was Albert Einstein born?
Austria.
Germany. Maggie, in music, in which US city can you listen to traditional jazz at the Preservation Hall and the Dixieland Hall?
New Orleans.
Correct. Lindsay, in the animal kingdom, which slow-moving mammal has 2-toed and 3-toed varieties?
Sloth.
Correct. Graham, in maths, how many milligrams are there in 1 kilogram?
10,000.
A million. Gemma, in film, what's the name of the international man of mystery played by Mike Myers in the 1997 film of the same name?
Austin Powers.
Correct. Maggie, in geography, in which county in southwest England is Portland stone quarried?
Dorset.
Correct. Lindsay, in spelling, how many F's are there in the word professional?
2.
1. Graham, in the human body, the mandible is more commonly known as the lower what bone?
Jawbone.
Correct. Gemma.
Bank.
Which American cyclist won the 2001 Tour de France?
Mr. Yellow Shirt.
Lance Armstrong. Maggie, in which decade was the animated film 101 Dalmatians originally made?
30s.
60s. Lindsay, which sport do the Harlem Globetrotters play professionally?
Basketball.
Correct. Graham, in pop music, which female singer had a 1964 UK hit single with the song Downtown?
Sandy Shore.
Petula Clark. Gemma,
Bank.
in English grammar, which 3-letter word is known as the definite article?
It.
The. Maggie, in TV, in which American comedy series was Major Margaret Hot Lips Houlihan a character?
MASH.
Correct. Lindsay,
Bank.
which star sign bridges the months of February and March? Time's up. The correct answer was Pisces. You banked just £300. Who is not the brightest crayon in the box? It's time to vote on the weakest link.
The statistics show that Maggie remains the strongest link because she answered the most questions correctly. Graham is the weakest link, but will the votes follow the facts?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Gemma.
Graham.
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 Lindsay, is there any end to your ignorance? You read 4 books a week and you can't spell professional. Why Graham?
I think he was the weakest link.
Gemma, you went to university.
I did.
And Gemma thinks it is a 3-letter word. Why Graham?
It was the one about Petula Clark, and it's always the one you know the answer to yourself that sticks in your head.
Well, he certainly doesn't know Petula Clark. Graham, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Going into that round, I thought, with me being the only guy left and 3 women, I thought, that's it, I'm out. Whatever performance, whether I was the strongest link or not, I was going. Maggie will be voted off next, I feel, by the other 2. They'll vote tactically to get rid of her.
Round 7, team. You have so far £7,750 out of a possible £30,000. There are 3 of you left. Another 10 seconds coming off the clock. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Maggie. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Maggie, which part of a bird's digestive system contains small stones or grit to help break food into small particles?
The gut?
Gizzard. Lindsay, which American actor won an Oscar for the 1969 film True Grit?
John Wayne.
Correct. Gemma.
Bank.
In music, Mars, the bringer of war, and Venus, the bringer of peace, are movements from which suite by Holst?
Nutcracker Suite.
Planet Suite. Maggie, in which decade did King Edward VIII abdicate?
1936. 30s.
No, I have to accept your first answer. The answer is 1930s. Lindsay, in American politics, which post-war president had the campaign slogan, I like Ike?
I don't know.
No, General Dwight D. Eisenhower. Gemma, in the animal kingdom, which is the only whale that eats other whales?
Blue whale.
No, the killer whale. Maggie, which football team won the 2001 FA Charity Shield?
Liverpool.
Correct. Lindsay, in theatre, the title of the successful musical is 42nd What?
Street.
Correct. Gemma,
Bank.
in TV, which actor played Jim Hacker in Yes Minister and Yes Prime Minister?
Nigel Hawthorne.
No, Paul Eddington. Maggie, what was the nationality of General de Gaulle?
French.
Correct. Lindsay,
Bank.
which word meaning a mark of disgrace or infamy is also the name of the part of the female reproductive organs of a flower?
Pass.
Stigma. Gemma, which artist born in 1887 is famous for painting scenes of his native industrial Lancashire?
Lowry.
Correct. Maggie.
Bank.
In the RAF, for what does the letter F stand in the abbreviation of the Gallantry Medal, the DFC?
Forces.
Flying. Lindsay, in literature, which author wrote the novel Around the World in 80 Days?
I don't know.
Jules Verne. Gemma,
Bank.
which actor born in Oklahoma in 1963 married a cast member of the US TV sitcom Friends in July 2000?
David.
Brad Pitt. Time is up. Between the three of you, you bank just £550. Now, in round 8, you get the chance to treble what you bank, which means in the next round, there is £15,000 potentially to be won. The question is, who is going to lose you money? Who is going to help you build up the bank? It's time to vote on the weakest link.
The statistics reveal that Gemma is the weakest link, having answered the fewest questions correctly. For the first time in the game, Lindsay is the strongest link. But at this crucial stage, who will be taking the final walk of shame?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Maggie.
Maggie, why Lindsay?
Because she was the weakest link. I think that means she had most questions wrong.
Gemma, why Lindsay?
You've been after her all night and I felt sorry for her. I wanted to put her out of her misery.
Did you think she was the weakest link in that last
Yeah, I
round?
did actually.
Gemma was the worst player in that last round. But Lindsay, we can be disappointed but not astonished that to finish off your performance, you failed to tell me who wrote Around the World in 80 Days. We are beginning to wonder, Lindsay, if you have ever opened a book, let alone read one. With 2 votes, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I feel that I was probably the weakest link throughout the game, but in that particular round I think Gemma was far weaker than I was. I think Maggie expects her to be an easier opponent in the final, and I think Maggie will go on and win.
Round 8. You've won £8,300. By now you could have £35,000. There are 2 of you left, Gemma and Maggie, and this time you have only 90 seconds. But whatever you win in this round will be trebled and added to your total to make up your final prize money. So £15,000 is at stake. You voted off the strongest link from the last round. So we'll start with the second strongest link. That's Maggie. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Maggie, in money, in the abbreviation PAYE, for what does the letter E stand?
Earn.
Correct, Gemma. Which author wrote the novel On the Road?
Rudyard Kipling.
No, Jack Kerouac. Maggie, which actress married Laurence Olivier in 1940?
Joan Holroyd.
No, Vivian Lee. Gemma, in medicine, which group of people will be treated by a paediatrician?
Children.
Correct, Maggie. In pop music, what was the name of the band that regularly backed Buddy Holly?
The Crickets.
Correct, Gemma.
Bang.
In which 1993 film did Sylvester Stallone play a mountain rescue climber?
Cliffhanger.
Correct, Maggie. The statement of post-war aims drawn up in 1941 by President Roosevelt and Prime Minister Churchill was known as the Atlantic what?
Treaty.
Charter. Gemma, in imperial measurements, how many inches are there in 3 feet?
2.
36. Maggie, in the UK, which national park does the A57 cross between Sheffield and Manchester?
Peak District.
Correct. Gemma,
Bank.
which musical note is the length of 2 crotchets?
Semiquaver.
Minim. Maggie, in sport, the object of which game is to knock a ball through 6 hoops twice, then hit a peg?
Croquet.
Correct. Gemma, in nature, what is the fruit of the oak tree called?
Chestnut.
Acorn. Maggie, in pop music, a cover version of Stuck in the Middle with You was a 2001 UK hit single for which female singer?
Louise.
Correct. Gemma, of which US state is Lincoln the capital city?
Philadelphia.
Nebraska. Maggie,
Bang.
which Cockney actor played Ebenezer Scrooge in the 1992? Time's up. You banked £350 between you. We'll treble it and add it to the winnings from the previous rounds. That means prize money tonight of £9,350. But of course, only one of you can take that money home. So now you will be playing against each other head to head. I'll ask alternate questions, best of 5. Whoever answers the most correctly wins. It's as simple as that. If there's a tie after 5, we'll go for sudden death until we have a winner. So Gemma and Maggie for £9,350. Let's play the weakest link. Maggie is the strongest link in the last round. You have the choice of who goes first.
I'll go first.
Maggie, in the Jane Austen novel Pride and Prejudice, what is the first name of Mr. Darcy?
Mr. No, I know it and I've forgotten it.
Correct answer is Fitzwilliam. Gemma, in the USA, what is the largest state by area?
Alaska.
That is the correct answer. Maggie, in maths, the sum of the 4 interior angles of a rectangle comes to how many degrees?
360.
That is the correct answer. Gemma, which city has been chosen to host the 2008 Olympic Games?
Tokyo.
No, the correct answer is Beijing. Maggie, in British media, which current national daily newspaper was founded first?
The Times.
That is the correct answer. Gemma, in food, which spice can be bought in the form of powder or rolls of dried bark?
Cinnamon.
That is the correct answer. Maggie, in British history, in which Scottish glen did the Campbells infamously massacre the MacDonalds in 1692?
Culloden.
No, the correct answer is Glencoe. Gemma, in art, the Elgin marble sculptures come from which ancient Greek temple?
The Acropolis.
No, the correct answer is the Parthenon. Maggie, in politics, the name of which bird is the surname of the twin sister Labour MPs, Angela and Maria?
Sparrow.
No, the correct answer is eagle. Gemma, If you answer this question correctly, you have won. So for £9,350. When sugar is fermented by yeasts to produce alcohol, what gas is produced in significant quantities?
Hydrogen.
No, the correct answer is carbon dioxide. After 5 questions, your scores are tied. So, Gemma and Maggie, let's play sudden death. Maggie, in politics, which department runs the government's diplomatic service?
The Foreign Office?
I'll accept. The answer is Foreign and Commonwealth Office, and I will accept the Foreign Office. Gemma, you need to answer this question correctly, or Maggie takes home the money. In geography, which island is the largest and most densely populated in the Mediterranean Sea?
Spain.
No, the correct answer is Sicily. That means, Maggie, you are tonight's strongest link and you go away with £9,350. Gemma, you leave with nothing. Join us again for the weakest link.
I was hoping and planning to spend the money on my wedding, which is coming up, which is costing a small fortune, so I had my heart set on it for that.
I don't feel guilty about winning against Gemma because it was so nail-biting at the end. You know, we were equal footing all along, and it was just the one question at the very end, and she got it wrong. I was quite happy about that.